What's good, y'all? So we are only 3 days into the playoffs, and every day has had some elite hoops in it, bro. Every single day. Now, of course, not every game has been fantastic, but I want to say a really good majority of them. Whether it's the Warriors, Kings, both of those games have been insane. The Lakers, Grizzlies was really good. Cavs, Knicks was really good. The Bucks, Heat with the surprise upset. There's just pretty much every single series that's played so far has been a great, incredible thing to watch. It's great basketball, offense, defense, scoring. There's just been a whole lot of different things going out here. So in this video, I'm going to be breaking down just a few of the games, few of my thoughts, and just share my overall analysis on how the playoffs are going so far. We are going to start off with the Kings Warriors, who at the time of recording this just played their game 2 last night. Unfortunately for me, I am a New York guy living in New York, so that game starting at 10:30 had me tired, bro, and that it only ended at 1. Oh my god. I go to bed early. For this series though, I'm definitely gonna have to stay up. Both of these games have been wire to wire nail biters, just back and forth, back and forth. And after 2 games, the Sacramento Kings lead 2-0. That is the first time since, I think in the broadcast they said 2007, that the Golden State Warriors are down 2-0 to an opponent, which is really insane to just go there, that dominance. They went through so many series, making it to the finals so many times, and they haven't been down 0-2. That's really insane. Shout out Steve Kerr and the Warriors. But yeah, in that first game, the Sacramento Kings came out. There was no nerves. There was no nothing. They felt the energy of that home crowd, which was booming, and they came out there and straight just punched them in the mouth. I really like at the beginning, Harrison Barnes was really, the veteran was really just kind of shouldering the load right there for the Kings. He was getting a bunch of offensive rebounds, some good shots up, some good dunks and stuff like that, getting the crowd energized, getting the team accustomed to be like, all right, this is playoff basketball. From the jump though, Steph Curry was just on a mission. He was killing it the entire time, getting to the rim, shooting the threes, of course, as he always does, super efficiently too. That kind of led them to build a little bit of the lead over the Kings in the first half. But once they inserted that bench unit, things kind of got to settle back down a little bit, and they started picking up their pace. Sabonis wasn't having the best game 1 right there, but Alex Len came in and gave them great minutes, great high energy minutes, just getting rebounds, getting easy dunks, just the simple things you want your centers to do. Trey Lyles came in and was shooting the ball incredibly. I felt like every single time he shot a 3, that bitch was going in. Malik Monk came in, one of the front runners for 6th Man of the Year. I don't know if he was a finalist or not, but he had a really good year off the bench for the Kings. He came in and was getting to the free throw line, getting some easy buckets there. And then the second quarter, towards the end of the second quarter, that's when De'Aaron Fox really started to turn up. Oh my god, he put on a masterclass on national television. It was beautiful to watch. Especially once it got to the second half, that's when I don't think he missed. That's when he hit all of his threes. I think he hit 3 or 4 threes maybe, all in the second half. A lot of them in the fourth quarter too. And in that fourth quarter, man, they was just dueling. They was going back and forth, back and forth. De'Aaron Fox would come, pull up, mid-range, splash. Steph Curry come over on the other side, 3, splash. Hit it to Klay Thompson for a 3. And then De'Aaron just going back, getting to the rim, getting to the free throw line, assisting on different things. De'Aaron really was shouldering the reigning champs right now. I know they're a completely different team, but the reigning champs, Steph Curry, Klay Thompson, Draymond Green, all those guys that have won so many championships, and was going toe-to-toe with them in his first ever playoff game. Once it hits the fourth quarter, something clicks in his mind, and he is just elite, elite, elite. And since we're talking about the series, we will talk about Game 2, which happened just last night for me. And this game it had a little bit of a different vibe, at least to start, really throughout the whole series. It was more of a tough, gritty, defensive game. Both teams kind of started off really sloppy. I remember looking at it, it was like 4 minutes left in the first quarter, and the score was 8-12 or something like that. Just some insanely low-scoring game. And I think one of the big reasons for that is because Wiggins was back into starting lineup for the Warriors, and he was guarding De'Aaron Fox. And to begin that game, that really did bother De'Aaron Fox, or at least it seemed to really bother him. He wasn't really getting his shots off like that. He wasn't being as aggressive. And I think a big part of that is because of Wiggins' athleticism, his length, quick on the perimeter and stuff like that, able to stay in front of him and really disrupt him a lot more. But luckily, Sabonis was not having his terrible game that he had in Game 1. He was actually able to, get some offense going for him, finish off over at the rim, get some offensive rebounds and putbacks and stuff like that, get to the free throw line. So he was able to shoulder a little bit of a load in the first half. Malik Monk also came in again off the bench and was just hitting insane shots, just fadeaways from the mid-range, pull-ups from 3. He is such a bucket getter, man. Having him come off your bench is a extreme luxury. And then in the second half, it's just like it was scripted in the game one. De'Aaron Fox came out and was just on a mission. I don't know what he does, what is in his mind, in his blood, in his DNA, what it is. But once it gets down to crunch time, second half, fourth quarter, whatever it is, that man is a bucket. There's no stopping him. Absolutely no stopping him. That second half really is when the game started to get their pace back up and everything like that. Steph Curry was going off. Andrew Wiggins started to hit a lot more offensive shots too. More of a, you know, like I said, he was shouldering De'Aaron Fox in the first half on defense. Now he was showing more of an impact on offense. Which, if the Warriors want to win this series, Wiggins is going to have a very big offensive presence because Jordan Poole is damn near unplayable in this series. He's not making his shots, which is what they paid him to do, is to come in and kind of do what Malik Monk's doing. Hit the difficult shots off the bench, be a spark plug, get the team rolling once they're in a little bit of a rut. He's not really doing any of that, and to make it worse is every single time he's on the court, on the defensive side of the ball, they'll just do pick and rolls till he's guarding the ball handler, usually De'Aaron Fox or Malik Monk, and then Jordan Poole just gets cooked. So he's really not being any much of a positive impact on the court right now. So that leads the Warriors to play more of Donte DiVincenzo, more of Gary Payton, who got a whole lot of burn in this game. And as good of veterans as the Warriors are, they did keep the game close throughout pretty much the entire game. Then there was that incident of, you know, Draymond Green and Sabonis. It's a tough one because Draymond he stomped on him really fucking hard. He really put some force into that. Was Sabonis doing too much? Yes. Was Draymond doing too much? Yes. Should he even gotten ejected? It's a tough one, honestly. I do think that Draymond, there's a lot of times where I think Draymond does a foul, but since his name is Draymond Green, he has that reputation of being that hard-nosed defender. It doesn't get called. So I do think he gets the benefit of the doubt a lot of the times. In this one, I don't know. You gotta not stomp on someone, Draymond. It's as simple as that. And just one last thing before we wrap up the Kings-Warriors series talk. It's been a fantastic series to watch. One of my favorite things, though, is Davion Mitchell closing out this game in Game 2, guarding Steph Curry, playing some great defense on Steph Curry, which led to Mike Brown closing out the game with him instead of Kevin Huerter. And it wasn't only the defense that was felt from off night. He hit that clutch three to really like dagger the game, close out the game. He was getting dunks in transition and stuff like that. Just playing an all-around great energy, high impact game. And I did see they gave him Defensive Player of the Game. He got that chain, you know, repping that. So shout out to Davion Mitchell. And speaking of Mitchell, let's move on to, in my opinion, the second most exciting series to watch, the Cavs-Knicks. Obviously, you guys see I'm a Knicks fan. Game 2 is later tonight. By the time you guys are seeing this video, it probably already would have happened. But in this video, we're just going to be talking about Game 1 since that's all that happened for me. So I'm not going to lie, when this game first started, I was kind of stressing because Jalen Brunson went out with foul trouble really early. I think he had 3 fouls in like the beginning of the second quarter. So he barely played the first half, and obviously he's a huge part of our offense. Another thing that really scared me was Julius Randle. Yeah, he was back from his ankle injury. He usually plays the whole first quarter. They took him out with like 7 minutes left. So I was like, fuck, is he not going to be playing? Now JB is going to be in foul trouble. We're losing this game. It's going to be wraps. But, you know, obviously you guys know that's not what happened. Julius Randle did play a really good first quarter when he was out there, you know, hitting some threes, getting to the rim, finishing and stuff like that. Just getting quick points, quick rebounds, just trying to get seamlessly back into the offense, which I think worked really well. But talking about seamlessly, Donovan Mitchell, oh my God, he just effortlessly scores. It comes in streaks. It's a lot of streaks where he'll hit a jump shot and then he'll just hit his next 4 in a row. Whether it's a pull-up mid-range, a pull-up 3, a sidestep 3, step back 3. He gets his shots off in so many different ways. Not even talking about his athleticism, his extreme hang time, getting to the rim. He is unstoppable, man. I'm not gonna lie. He might average 35, 40 this whole series. But one thing that really stood out to me was, you know, coming into the series, everyone was talking about how Evan Mobley and Jarrett Allen, they're gonna shut down the paint, and it's gonna make it really difficult for Julius Randle, for Jalen Brunson. Honestly, I was one of those guys. I thought they were gonna make it kind of tough for us, but they really weren't as impactful as I thought, at least watching the game. You know, Mitchell Robinson, super big, super strong guy. He's matched up with Jarrett Allen. I feel like that's kind of an easy matchup. Evan Mobley was bodying him a few times, though. To start off the game, he was doing that. To grab some rebounds, he was doing that. But overall, I think Mitch had a great game. Julius Randle. There's that clip going around at the free throw line where he just moves Evan Mobley. One move just moves him like 4 or 5 feet. It's crazy. But what I think is the big difference maker and could be the difference maker on who wins the series is the Cavs' lack of depth and the Knicks' abundance of depth. Obviously, Josh Hart came in off the bench, gave them 17-point double-double with 10 rebounds. His impact is insane. Great defense, too, on Donovan Mitchell. Quickly didn't really have a good game, so that kind of hurts a little bit of our depth. But still, goes to show that we won this game while our 6th man of the year is not really playing that good. Isaiah Hartenstein came in and gave great center minutes. Obi Toppin hit a 3 or 2, just making shots. That's all we really need him to do. And when the Cavs reserves came in, it was Cedi Osman, who, he's not really moving the needle on anything, really. Caris LeVert, his shots weren't really falling too well in this game. Isaac Okoro, wow, that just reminded me, talking about shots not falling. We were leaving him butt naked open in the corners, on anywhere on the court realistically, and he was not making us capitalize. So if the Cavs want to win the series, he's going to have to make some shots. Caris LeVert's going to have to make some shots. Ricky Rubio's going to have to come in and, play some type of defense. I don't know really how much you're looking for Ricky Rubio to defend, but he was just getting cooked. I don't know. I think this series is definitely it's going to be a long series. It's going to be either 6 or 7. And I think if the Cavs want to win it, they're going to need some help from their wing play, especially from Isaac Okoro, Caris LeVert, as I was just saying, Cedi Osman coming in. Those 3 guys are going to be key for them. And then the Knicks, Jalen Brunson had a fantastic game, closing out clutch shot after clutch shot. Josh Hart, again, he played great. But we're going to need a better game from Julius Randle. RJ Barrett didn't really play the best, especially scoring the ball. Emmanuel Quickley barely played because he was really not doing anything on the court. So if we're going to need our depth guys to really just kind of step up, and then the Cavs going to need their wings to step up, it's going to be a hell of a series. Next up, we're going back out west, and we're going to be talking about the Lakers-Grizzlies matchup. This is another one that it's going to be insane. Game 1 was amazing. Anthony Davis started this game out incredibly. I don't think he could have started out any better. Grabbing rebounds, pounding down low, finishing at the rim, playing defense. I think he had 3 blocks in the first 4 minutes of the game. He was insane. Jaren Jackson Jr. was going right at him, though, or not really at him, right at Bron on the other side of the court. He was cooking Bron in the first quarter. I don't know why they just put him on the island. He was taking advantage of that, hitting the quick post hooks, fade. He was hitting everything over anyone not named Anthony Davis. But once Anthony Davis hurt his arm, and he's like, oh, I can't feel my arm, right at the end of the second half, or the end of the first half, I feel like he kind of lost his aggressiveness on offense. He was still playing hell of a game defensively, and he was locking up everything, getting steals, getting blocks, just incredible defense. But on offense, I would kind of look for him to be a little bit more aggressive, especially when Bron wasn't having the best offensive game himself, at least shooting the ball wise. In the first half, I don't think he hit a single jump shot. He was finishing incredibly well. He was playing defense incredibly well, getting those chase down blocks, protecting the rim, great. But the jump shot was not falling, and if you have Bron, that's not going to really be hitting jump shots. Anthony Davis it's a good thing he's not taking jump shots really like that, but still, that's 2 guys that really don't shoot, especially if you have Jared Vanderbilt out there now. You're going to need that Bron jump shot if the Lakers want to really make a deep playoff push. So hopefully it was just kind of one game, but this whole series, or this whole season, he really wasn't shooting the ball well. So you want that aggressiveness from Anthony Davis to kind of take that away from Bron. But I guess it really doesn't matter that he wasn't aggressive because the Lakers had plenty of other guys playing really aggressive and really great offensive basketball. We'll start off calm. Just D'Lo had a really calm, easy game. He was hitting shots when the Lakers really weren't getting anything offensively. He was keeping them in that game. Just, hitting some mid-ranges, getting to the rim, facilitating a little bit too. He had a really good game. Rui Hachimura had one of his best games of his career, it felt like. He was just hitting every single shot, man. Whether it was a 3, he was crashing the glass early on to get him going, to just get offensive bounds and just going right back up with it. He was seamlessly, just effortlessly hitting shots after shot after shot and having an amazing game for the Lakers. And then Austin Reeves, oh my God, man. That man, I think he said he had 14 in the fourth quarter. He hit shot after shot after shot to close that game away. Shut the door on the Grizzlies. Ja already went down with his hand. They did just report that has no fractures, no breaks or anything like that. It's just maybe he hyperextended it or something. I don't know. He felt kind of weird on it. Hopefully he's all good. Hopefully he's back for game 2. You hate to see injuries and stuff like that. But Austin Reaves shut the door on the Grizzlies on any idea of coming back into this game. Doing it at all 3 levels and was doing it amazingly. Ja right now is questionable for game 1. He really didn't have too good of a game for the Grizzlies. It really was Jaren Jackson Jr. that was playing fantastic to keep the Grizzlies in this game. Obviously, Ja is their star, but the Grizzlies play really, really good without him, so that's something to keep your head up if you're a Grizzlies fan. But if the Lakers go and steal both games in Memphis going back to LA, I don't know, man. Things could get that would be crazy. We're gonna be staying out west for this next series because if I'm being honest, the West really has, I feel like every series is really, really good. The East got a few of them, but the West is just all heaters. We're gonna be talking about Clippers Suns next. This was another really fun one to watch because all like the stars, the big name guys, they all had great performances. Kawhi, oh my God, playoff Kawhi, have we forgotten about you? Incredible. I think it was 38 points, almost 40 points right there. He was super efficient from 3, from the mid-range, getting to the basket. It's incredible how just seamless it is. He just, mid-range, just hit there, get to a spot, wet, every single time. It doesn't make sense. It could be incredible, perfect defense on him, and he's just going to hit that ball. But D-Book had a pretty efficient game. KD almost had a triple-double right there in his first playoff game with the Suns. That would have been pretty cool. Chris Paul, he wasn't scoring the ball great, but he was assisting really, really well, getting some rebounds out there too in the clutch. Another point guard that was not shooting the ball well, but his impact was definitely felt. Russell Westbrook, incredible game, incredible game. I think he was 1 for 17, 1 for 19, something insane like that. But he did not let that deter him. He had, I think, double-digit rebounds or close to it. A lot of assists, 3 steals, the game-winning block and save on it on D-Book where he blocked it, didn't give up on the play, hit it right off his leg. His impact, he really won that game for the Clippers. Obviously, Kawhi had the great scoring performance, but Russell Westbrook did every single little thing that you needed beyond that. Eric Gordon also had an incredible game. He shot the ball super efficiently, giving them really, really good scoring points, making up for Paul George, the lack of him, in his offense. Obviously, Eric Gordon's not going to fill all that from, Paul George, but he did a really, really good job just getting his shots off, making them at timely moments. And I think the difference of this game was the Suns' lack of depth. They really didn't have any offense coming off of their bench. Josh Okogie, as a role player, he was starting in this game. He was incredible. Every single time he's touched the ball, it felt like he scored some points for them. He was great, played great defense too. But off their bench, they had nothing. Landry Shamet, not really doing too much offensively. They had Josh Okogie out there. They had Bismack Biyombo. They ran a really deep rotation right there. Terrence Ross came out there for a little bit too. None of them did really anything. And if the Suns do want to go deep, obviously you got KD who's going to be scoring. Devin Booker, he's going to be scoring. You're going to need some other guys. DeAndre Ayton, he had an okay game, but I feel like he just kind of got lost in the game a few times where it felt like he wasn't even out there. Chris Paul didn't have a great scoring game, but you really don't want to rely on Chris Paul scoring the ball. I'm going to be honest, I don't really know where that offense comes from, but they got to find someone to really give them that extra push if they want to continue the series. I'm not really too worried about them. I think they're going to bounce back in game 2. I think they're going to take care of business with the Clippers. I feel like those are like the main series that most people are thinking can go either way. These other series, it's probably not, so I'm just going to breeze through with just a quick little few thoughts on them each. For 76ers Nets, the one thing that really just jumps out to me in both games it was like this was Tobias Harris. He has been playing fantastic in these first 2 games in the playoffs for the 76ers. Obviously with guys like James Harden, Joel Embiid, Tyrese Maxey, Tobias Harris isn't going to have too many ISO opportunities where he's just going to be able to go to work and get a bucket. So what he's got to do is just take advantage in the natural flow of the offense and score it with that. And that's what he's been doing in both of these games, whether it's offensive rebounds and just quickly putting it back up, catch and shoot, getting out in transition. He's just seamlessly, I know I keep using this word in that video, but it's a lot of these guys are just so easy. Like you don't even realize it. They just get the points, catch, shoot, knock it down. offensive rebound, hit it there. He was sitting in the dunker spot a few times too, just for the quick dump downs on the double teams on Joel Embiid. He was just, he looked like just a perfect puzzle piece. He just slot in right there, and it worked to perfection. One thing that also stood out for me is in that second game, the Nets tried to do a little small ball. At first, they were doing it where Cam Johnson was a small ball center when they had Paul Reed out there. And I was like, all right, I guess they're just going to try to take advantage of this while Joel Embiid's on the bench. But then Joel came back in, and they stuck with the small ball for a big portion of this game. It did seem like it kind of frustrated Joel a little bit here, a little bit there. He, obviously it's Joel Embiid, it's the MVP of the league. He's going to work past that, and he did towards the end of the game. He was just dominating scoring-wise. But it did seem to really affect him at least a little bit. I'm really interested in seeing what the Nets do with that going forward. Celtics-Hawks, when I was watching this game, it was basically over at halftime, really. The Celtics just dominated. Their defensive backcourt of Marcus Smart and Derek White, it's unfair. Those two guys are insane. Jason Tatum really didn't have his best game, but Jaylen Brown was just dominating, it felt like. Robert Williams off the bench came in and was just catching lobs, grabbing rebounds, blocking shots, doing Rob Will things. If I'm honest, Atlanta looks like they have no chance in the series. It looks like they might be on the verge of getting swept. In my opinion, I think they're going to get swept. We'll just have to see in these next few games. For Bucks Heat, I didn't watch this full game. I was watching a little bit here, went to go cook dinner, came back, was watching a little bit here, did something else, was going, I wasn't watching it fully through. But overall, just the injuries suck. Tyler Hero, broken hand. He's going to be out for the rest of the playoffs, the rest of the series. That really is a big blow for Miami, that he's a big part of their offense. I don't really know where they're getting the rest of their offense from, especially since their offense was really bad with Tyler Hero. Now without him, it's going to be a lot of Jimmy Butler, a lot of Bam Adebayo. I don't really know how that's going to look in the playoffs against this super good defensive Bucks team. Obviously, Giannis went out really early in the game, too. I'm pretty sure they said he's good to go for game 2. I could be chatting, but I don't think it's a serious injury regardless. And I'm not going to lie, without him, Chris Middleton went to work. He was hooping like the all-star he once was. Brook Lopez was playing great defense. Jrue Holiday was assisting. I think he had like 15 assists or something like that. He was going crazy with the playmaking. But overall, if you're this close in a game without your best player, without a top 3 MVP candidate on your team, the series probably isn't going to go too far. Playoff Jimmy was great. I don't think he could do this, though. So, Bucks, I assume this one's going to be a quick series for them, too. And then the last series, Nuggets-Timberwolves, I didn't make it, man. I was talking about, in the beginning of the video with the Kings and Warriors, on the East Coast, it makes it really tough, those 10:30 games. I didn't make it. I fell asleep during this game. But, luckily I didn't miss a close, nail-biter one. The Timberwolves got blown out. The game was over by the end of the third quarter. I don't think the Timberwolves are going to... I think they'll take one game, but I don't think it's going to be a competitive series. And that's just my thoughts and my breakdown of all these games so far. The playoffs have been incredible to watch. As I'm recording this video later tonight, we got Game 2 of Cavs-Knicks, Game 2 of Boston-Atlanta. I'm not really too worried about that one, to be honest with you. My fault, Atlanta. And then we also got Game 2 of Suns-Warriors, or not Suns-Warriors, Suns-Clippers. Really interested to see how the Suns bounce back. Really interested to see how the Cavs bounce back. Let me know in the comments down below what your favorite series so far has been, what your favorite game has been, your favorite player in the playoff, anything. Just, leave it down in the comments. I want to talk to a few of you guys, see how you guys are enjoying this playoff so far. If you enjoyed this video, make sure you leave it a like, subscribe so you don't miss the next one. In the description, there'll be links to all my social medias, so make sure you follow me on all those to keep up to date with me. Catch y'all.